Exxaro is primarily a coal producer with extensive operations delivering steam coal for export and power station coal to Eskom. In addition, it has a highly profitable minority interest in the Sishen iron ore mine and some smaller heavy mineral interests. Exxaro has a market cap of 58.7 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 11.7 and a dividend yield of 3%. And Exxaro, again, we're seeing labor issues. We had the closing down of 5 of its mines recently, impacting the share price as well. I don't know if it actually reacted, well, it did, to that news flow. Again, Sipho Nkosi at the helm of this one, steady as she goes.
Yeah, it's a good company, and that iron ore stake is massively valuable. The coal interests are enormous. It's the old Eskom coal assets, the most important of which is that field, which is called Groot Geluk or Welgevonden of some kind of Afrikaans name up there where Medupi is, where, you know, the Ellis Ras area, now called Lephalale, sorry, not Ellis Ras. So that's, you know, what it's all about. Massive export coal interests out of the Arno field down there in Middelburg. It's a bit under pressure now because coal prices, who knows, the labor issue is a bit of an anxiety. But look, it's got some powerful assets with some powerful cash flow, so you can't count them out.
What do you think at current levels? Levan, appetite for this one?
Almost 70% of their production goes into Eskom, and they haven't given us the guidance as to what the terms of the contract is. Firstly, what the life cycle of that contract is, and what price are selling this product.
So this is an uncertain overhang
for me,
you.
that is a very big problem when you're trying to quantify future earnings. The next problem is the bulk of their income comes through from a combination of dividends. A number of those businesses that flow dividends into Exxaro, they don't control, that is to say on a board level, or effectively control from a shareholding point of view. That's another problem. And when you look at the recent set of financials, the biggest plus that you saw came about from an abnormal item. It was a sale of an asset. So when you strip out all that dividend income and the sale of the asset, they haven't really made a lot of cash. And this is during a period of fairly decent coal prices.
So you're not too enthusiastic about this story, it appears.
And you layer on the fact that there's some labor uncertainty. For me, this becomes something of a dodgy stock.
A dodgy stock? Harsh words from Levan.
Yeah, well, the other thing that Levan is talking about in terms of minorities is they took all that mineral stand stuff and they stuck it into an entity called Tronox, which is now listed
on the New York Stock Exchange.
But at least that gives you the opportunity to value it by reference. Look, I mean, coal is definitely not the worst mining to be in. I'd rather be in coal than gold. You know, coal, you strip off the overburden and do open cast mining, or you go down to some level like 100 meters and you chunk the stuff out. So the power station coal, I mean, the problem is margins there. They spent a 10 billion rand developing the Medupi coal field. I mean, that's what it costs to open up a coal field for a scale of that thing. But once you've got that relationship, Eskom can't buy the coal from anywhere else. So it's going to continue for a long period. I like Sipho Nkosi. I like the management control that he has with his ICs where, you know, Exxaro, holding company, holdco, whatever it is. So I think that's a plus. I definitely like the iron ore revenues that flow from Kumba. So I don't know. I mean, I'm more inclined to say I'm hot in it, but you'd have to have a positive view of the coal price, the global coal price.
Think about it for a moment, because I haven't asked you yet. Hot or not on Exxaro, Levan?
I'm not hot. And I think energy prices are likely to dip in the near term, and that's just another reason not to buy the stock.
Hot or not, Paul?
Well, those friends of ours in China, you know, they've got their smog problems, but they're going to carry on burning a lot of coal. There's India behind them. So I'm more positively inclined on the coal price for the next sort of decade or 15 years. So I think I'm prepared to go hot on this one.